I know people personally, the minute they came to this country, they got food stamps. How can you get food stamps when you've never paid a dime into the system? You have parents that can barely afford groceries and they're getting their food stamps cut. Because why? Because they're giving it to illegal immigrants. That is wrong. You should not be giving food stamps. You should not be giving WIC. You should not be giving any social programs to illegals. They didn't pay into the system. So they shouldn't get it. That's why it shouldn't even that's why like they're getting deported, because it's like we can't focus on creating a system where you're creating like a way to vet these people when we don't even know who the fuck is in here. You have to get everybody out, focus on like who's here, get everybody out, make sure our Americans are good. Let's focus on us, America first. Our Americans are good. And then we can focus on, okay, let's create an actual immigration system that actually focuses on bringing quality people in, that we would actually come here the right way. But we can't focus on that right now. That's not the priority. And that's the problem that I'm having. We're not focusing on the priority. The priority is Americans. That's the priority. Everybody else is irrelevant. If you're not an American, if you're not even a legal migrant, I'm sorry, you should not be here. I don't care. Absolutely. And that even goes for people I know personally. You should not be here. And that sucks because it's family. But at the end of the day, we are a country of laws. And if you're not willing to actually follow the law, then you're not allowed to be here. Period. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? It sucks. It's harsh, you know, in a way, because it's human lives we're talking about, and they're fleeing a third world country. But that's not the way to do it. Especially, my dad brought this up the other day, and I thought this was brilliant. I was like, yes, Dad, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, you know why this is a corrupt system? Why didn't they seek asylum in the first country they stepped foot into? For example, the Cubans. Cubans don't throw themselves into the water anymore. We don't got brave Cubans like that no more. That generation was my dad's generation. They left a long ass time ago. They're already here. They built their businesses. They're paying their taxes. They're here.
Well, they still come on rafts and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Barely. That's not the vibe anymore. The new generation is son tremendo pendejo. They don't do that. What they're doing is they're flying to Nicaragua because Nicaragua opened their ports for them.
Yeah, so, Guatemala at the same time.
Exactly. So why don't you seek asylum in Guatemala or Nicaragua?
No, because they want to come to the Holy Land. They want to come over here.
Esa corrupción. Sorry for those who don't speak Spanish. That is corruption. If you are coming and you're seeking asylum because your country es una mierda, is garbage, then you go to the first country you step foot into and you seek asylum in that country, because that is the country that's opening their arms to you. Instead, what they're doing is they're going into the Nicaragua or Guatemala or whatever, and then they're going con un coyote, and they're going to another country, until they go. So how many borders do you have to cross to come to America?
Another thing they're doing is, like, my roommate, right? He's Argentinian, and he told me that the new thing that they're doing is they're going from Cuba to Argentina. And then they're living there for like 2-3 years, getting their paperwork over there.
That's what you're supposed to do.
And then they're coming over here and being like, hey, look, you know, I got it all set up. That's fine. At least you went to a country.
Exactly.
You took an oath. You renounced your old area. You became now a citizen of another country. But you're coming over here with some sort of documentation, some paperwork. At least we have a general idea of who you are.
Exactly. Right.
Because I know, I hate to say it, and I've told him multiple times. And like now with the whole Trump thing, he's like, bro, I'm terrified. And I'm like, we've been having this conversation for over 15 years. His father's been in the country for 20, 30 years. No paperwork. And I'm just like, how? How do you not live in fear? How do you not, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Ponete la pila. Like, how do you not take charge of, you know, this situation and
because
stuff? Because
we never had leadership that gave a shit until now. It's that simple.
Like, if I had to go to another country, like, let's say, for instance, shit hit the fan, and we had to, like, I don't know, go to Europe, right? My main objective the second I get there is, hey, what do I have to do to not get kicked out? What do I got to do to stay here? Because, obviously, I had to leave for a reason. So if I'm here in another country that's not mine, before I even start thinking about, oh, let's go to the club, let's go do this, let's go do this, like, bro, you gotta shack down. You gotta know where you're gonna lay your head to rest and what you're gonna do tomorrow and stuff like that. Like if you're just like, I'll wait for the moment to come, and then like, yo, shit can get ugly real quick. And then God forbid, like what's happening now, right? You come over here, you're invested in America, you're invested in this lifestyle, and then you've never done paperwork, you've never done anything, and you have a kid,
It shows that
and
you
you're
don't.
like,
It shows that you don't really care.
no, it shows you're irresponsible.
Exactly. It's like you're
Uh,
reckless as hell. Because it's not like
like
you don't have
if
we have immigration lawyers for a reason. Like
and they're
use
everywhere.
them. They're
They're not
everywhere.
hard to find. They're
There,
everywhere.
there's all types of rates. You pick and choose what rate you can afford, and you stick to that rate. Like there's so many immigration lawyers. Like right now, that's a hell of an industry to be in. Let me tell you, they're making
Yo,
bank
go,
off of
go to
this.
law, do immigration, do what you got to do, because you can make money in that field right now.
Seriously, really quick, Benny. So it doesn't cost the same, if not more, to kick them out. So make a clear path to citizenship. We agree on the root of the problem. Where we disagree is a response.
So I think it actually costs more to keep them here,
It does.
because one, our taxes should be going back into the state or to federal, uh, not doing a 360 and going into someone else's pocket. Because, hey, perfect example. When I was living in Miami, I had a neighbor that, yo, when I tell you, they had nice cars, they had nice lifestyle, and it was just like, where are you getting all this money from? And they're like, oh, the government helps us because we've only been here for like 2, 3 years. And I'm like, damn, bro, what do I got to do to get that type of money? Like, my parents were born and raised in this country, and like, we're suffering. So
There is already a path to citizenship at Benny's.
it's
There's
called following
already
the
a
laws.
path to citizenship. I went through that path. My father went through that path. Every legal migrant has gone through that path of becoming a legal migrant and becoming a citizen. That's not the problem. The problem is that laws are not being enforced and people are coming here incorrectly. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. If you want to come to this country, you need to follow the laws of the country. You
And
go
believe it
to,
or not, there's a lot of loopholes.
yeah,
There's so many like ever since this whole Trump thing and immigration's gone down, like I don't want to sit here and sound privileged because that's not my position, but I started going online, right? What are the easy ways to get paper, naturalization, citizenship, residency? Like it is dumb ass easy.
yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, the people are talking out of their ass because there are so many ways to actually come here legally. The worst way to come here is the way they're going, like literally risking their lives, crossing a river where a lot of people have drowned because you don't know whether the tide is up or whether the tide is down. So if you come where the tide is up and you don't know how to swim, te jodiste. So that's the part that it's like there's so many ways to come here the right way that you don't have to go through what you're going through. You choose to because the administration didn't care and said, we don't care about the laws, come.